We're now only 48 hours away from a very volatile time in the crypto market. And the great thing about this is Shiba Inu is actually showing some bottom signals that I want to discuss with you guys. This is from an article I was actually reading this morning, but I also want to point to something that still remains bullish over the past several weeks, which is great for SHIB. And could we actually be building towards this moment where SHIB can again create this bullish breakout? The longer we've been in this formation, the more explosive Shiba Inu can become. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. Since all the way back in the later part of July, we have been compressing and compressing and compressing in terms of price. And what this has led us to is this point where SHIB has basically created what looks like a bottom signal. Now, this is actually from an article this morning. It said after tumbling below 4013, Shiba Inu price has now reached a critical level that suggests a big move is on the horizon. This was highlighted by crypto analyst My Crypto Paradise, who identified the formation as a classic double bottom pattern. While double bottoms are not exactly rare, what makes this one so important is that it's at the level which it is formed. This is basically a major demand zone. And actually, if we look at Shiba Inu and we drag out this demand zone like we were talking about, this is exactly what was referenced, right? We've fallen into this area of basically severe discounts, we'll call it. I would say that SHIB is still even discounted at the time of filming this video. This isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that, but this tends to lead to corrections and pushes to higher prices. In fact, what he's suggesting is that the next level of resistance is at 401345, and then we may actually be on the way to 40142 or 401445. So those are important due to high liquidity. And if everybody remembers, basically between 4014 and 4019 is where the largest group of Shiba Inu holders have actually accumulated. So that's where kind of our focal range is. And when SHIB moves beyond that, it tends to be more volatile. We just haven't been beyond that in quite some time. But one thing I did want to show you guys, this is actually very, very good, is that Shiba Inu is still creating bullish divergence. What we have actually seen here is on the charts, we've seen a lower low, we have seen a slightly lower low, and then even this double bottom that's created has been slightly lower still, while on the RSI, we are creating slightly higher low, slightly higher low, slightly higher low, even on this retracement that we saw here. So we're actually creating a bullish formation while SHIB is hitting an extreme demand zone, while we're seeing a bit of a correction start to take place in the crypto market. Again, we've flipped bullish, which is a great sign. We're kind of just toying with this signal line on the stochastic RSI. And what we're looking like we're wanting to do is again attack the top of this trend. Now understand our 20-day moving average, which is our focal point of resistance, is sitting still just above here. In fact, if we touch on Friday, that could be the moment where SHIB has to make a pretty important decision, and it's probably going to be a volatile one. What I mean by that is, remember Friday, we actually have the jobs report, right? And the jobs report is going to be a big piece of data that the Fed is going to use as a signal for rate cuts. Are they going to do it? Are they not? If this jobs report comes in kind of quiet, a little bit weak, that is exactly what the Fed wants to see. If unemployment is maybe staying the same or ticking up slightly, that's exactly what the Fed wants to see. And then the likelihood for a rate cut shoots to the moon. Okay. Right now, it's probably, didn't take a look, but it's been hanging around like 90% or so. So the likelihood is still very high, but this could come to a moment where, basically SHIB price and the 20-day moving average are touching this trend at the exact same time. And then volatility is going to determine direction. If we get some negative news, you could see a volatile push back down to this range that we were in, where you're seeing big defensive price. If things are good, this is where you could see a volatile move to the upside. I want everybody to remember that there's still a lot of open interest in the market. In fact, when we're looking at Shiba Inu, we've actually seen a 3.7% increase in open interest over the last 24 hours. In fact, most of this has been on the short side. If you guys remember here, this ratio was a little bit higher. So this has kind of ticked down a little bit. Still not getting a crazy amount in terms of liquidations over the last 24 hours. And so it looks like that leverage is kind of being spread out. I mean, for example, in the last 12 hours alone, 86 cents in liquidations. That's not much, guys. So a lot of people are kind of nervous surrounding Shiba Inu price and direction currently. And we might be kind of all over the place leading into Friday's report. But that could be obviously where things get pretty exciting. So I love where SHIB is at. I'm sure you guys are too. We're still seeing major conviction. We're still seeing holders on the rise. These are all the things that we want to see leading up to obviously a big time of adoption, hopefully. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.